Good morning and welcome along to Paper Talk.
Over the next 10 minutes or so, we'll be taking a close look through the sports pages to see what's making the headlines. And here to assist this morning is football journalist Jessy Humphreys. Very good morning, Jessy.
Good morning.
Jessy, good to have you with us. Now, 2 days until England take on Germany in the Euros final.
Yeah, and England's run to the final is dominating the newspapers' sport pages. And we're going to start, Katie, with this one here in the Telegraph.
Yeah, so the Daily Telegraph have an interview with the England goalkeeper Mary Earps, who's been getting helpful texts from a Manchester United teammate. So who's the teammate, Jessy?
Yeah, it sounds like David De Gea has been in touch with Mary Earps throughout the tournament. I know they're obviously close at Manchester United and have done work together there and kind of watched each other. But yeah, great to see that he's been in touch with her during the tournament.
Yeah, Earps is a key part of the team now, Jessy, but she spent 2 years out of the side from late 2019, and she talks about that period too, doesn't she?
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a journey for Earps. I think lots of people would have felt that her time at England was over. You know, the rise of Ellie Roebuck was used and at the Olympics and seemed to be the preferential choice there. But Roebuck was injured, and Earps has really taken her chance within this team. You know, you can't fault her performances throughout the tournament, and you know the save she made against Sweden when England were only 2-0 up, and then England obviously went and scored the third goal, but that felt like a really essential moment in the game.
So, from goalkeeper to zookeeper.
Yeah, that's a headline in the Times as they interview a German striker with an interesting past aiming to derail England on Sunday. You can see it behind us, that picture there. Who's it, of Alex Popp with, I think that looks like a giraffe, but...
massive giraffe.
Yeah. Yeah, Jessy, can you hear us okay? Tell us a bit about this story.
Yeah, I love this. I love that Alex Popp is a trained zookeeper, and I saw on one of her days off she managed to make it down to London Zoo as well, which was great to see. But yeah, Alex Popp is having an absolutely amazing Euros. She's going toe-to-toe with Beth Mead for that Golden Boot race. Scored in every single game so far, and it's a fantastic story for her. She's 31 years old. She's an absolute legend of German football, but this is her first Euros ever because she's missed the previous two with injury, and she's really making up for lost time this tournament.
It's really shining in this tournament. So what has the German media had to say about the challenge of facing England? Especially it's at home, they've got the home advantage, and in front of 87,000 at Wembley. That's going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, I think the German media seem to be going down the same direction we go down sometimes when we talk about facing Germany. You know, mentions of 1966 and things like that. They want their big day out in Wembley as well. And I think they will feel like, look, the Germans have won the Euros 8 times. There used to be a time where you could just write their name on the trophy before the tournament even started. So I think they will feel just as confident that they can upset England's party at Wembley.
Absolutely. OK, we're moving on then. You can't keep Cristiano Ronaldo out of the headlines.
Yeah, and there's still plenty being written about about his future. Will he stay at Manchester United? Will he go elsewhere? But that's what The Sun and the back page of The Sun is going with. Outcast is the headline in that paper. So what's the story behind that, Jessy?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Ronaldo's come back to United training, having missed their pre-season tour, but it sounds like this is the saga that's going to run all summer long because it sounds like they've been having conversations, and obviously maybe that they were going to work things out, but Mendes is also talking about, you know, other offers on the table, and Ronaldo still seeming quite keen to get out of Manchester United and play some Champions League football next season.
You mentioned, Jessy, those offers on the table. Does he, in fact, have an offer from another club, according to The Sun?
Well, yeah, that's what The Sun is reporting as well. The Athletic reporting this morning too that Sporting Lisbon are potentially interested in signing him, but I feel like we've heard this around lots of clubs already, and the same issues arise. You know, do you want the 37-year-old to come in and upset your entire club structure? And you know, there are obviously big commercial benefits for clubs too, and he's a fantastic player, he's a fantastic goal scorer, but you know, it's a lot for a club to take on, I think, in terms of his wages.
Well, our information is that United don't want him to go, they don't want to sell him. So how do you see this one ending?
I feel like this could just roll on and on and on. I mean, to be honest, I guess it depends if a club's going to come up with some kind of money. I know that there's been some suggestion that maybe United should just let him leave the last year of his contract as, a goodwill gesture for all he's done for the club in the past. But I think it's understandable that United, with an asset like Ronaldo, don't really want to do that. So I think maybe, if the right offer comes in, they would accept, because some were reporting that they think he's, 4 weeks behind the rest of the club in terms of what he's missed from training. But I feel like United would surely, if the right offer comes in, be ready to move them on.
OK, well, we'll move from United to their old rivals, Liverpool, and an article in the Daily Star. Fascinating, this. Friendly fire is the headline. This is all about Liverpool, who, after they kick off their Premier League season against Fulham on August the 6th, are organising a friendly. Jurgen Klopp usually complains his team has too many fixtures, but now he wants to schedule a friendly. Why? And how big a departure from the norm is this, Jessy?
Yeah, it's obviously a bit of a strange happening. So you kind of think that once the season starts, you roll through it. But I guess you do sometimes see teams, if they've had long breaks, or if they've had, not as many players going on international duty, they do that to keep the players feeling fit. Klopp obviously feels that his pre-season hasn't been long enough, with the Community Shield this weekend and then the Premier League starting the week afterwards. And so it's not all of his squad are fully ready. Obviously they've had a limited chance to get the games in they need. And so some players obviously need more minutes so he can use his whole squad once the season's begun.
And Jessy, he's also not happy about the timing of the Community Shield with Manchester City.
Yeah, he obviously feels that he spoke a lot about Germany and the German Super Cup, and how the teams who play in that then kind of miss a match, no playing that open round fixtures, and wondering whether there's a different time the Community Shield could be played. I mean, ultimately it kicks off the season, right? So I don't really see how you can shift it further along. Obviously, just the reality of this year is that because of the World Cup, because we have that break, everything has to start a lot earlier, and that's kind of shunted everything forward.
And finally, the Star says Klopp's issued a hands-off warning to Juventus about Roberto Firmino. What's he had to say, Jessy?
Yeah, I mean, Klopp sounds very keen to keep Firmino. Apparently, Juventus have offered £19 million to take Firmino off their hands, but Klopp has said, he wants Firmino in his squad. I think it's understandable, obviously, with Sadio Mane leaving, one of the kind of real experienced members of that front three, having Nunez come in. Luis Diaz obviously hasn't even been that long either, that you want that kind of continuity with your attacking line. I don't know how Firmino will feel about it, on the other hand, because he's probably looking there thinking, well, they've just spent all of this money on a different striker. How is that going to work with my bits with only Mane leaving from those three? Obviously, you've got Jota to think about as well. So, Klopp seems keen to keep him, but it'll be interesting to see whether that moves anywhere.
Yeah, transfer window still open. Thank you very much for your time this morning, Jessy. Great to have had you with us.
Thank you.